Our plan was to ride the Pony Express Trail, which goes from St. Joseph, Missouri, all the way to Sacramento, California. We knew we wanted to ride the trail in the desert of Utah. We heard that this was kind of remote. Maureen riding her 250cc Yamaha, and I had a 400cc Suzuki. One of the first stations we stopped at was called Simpson Springs. This was a home station. You can tell that the wind was really howling, 35 plus miles an hour, the wind that we had. This is what the road looked like. Long, straight expanses. About every 10 to 12 miles there would be a relay station, so you would find these markers. This is the river bed station, one of the stations used by the Pony Express. Incredible scenery, certainly something different than we're used to seeing here in Mississippi. The Great Salt Lake Desert. The great expanses, you can sort of see the haze in the distance. This was taken at Fish Springs. This was about 60 miles into the ride that we made. And we started our camp for the evening, not too far beyond Fish Springs. Put up our little trusty pup tent. Had some wonderful meals ready to eat, better known as MREs. We had to batten down the camp fairly well because the winds, they were pretty high. Almost a full moon that night, absolutely spectacular, beautiful. Gathered up a few rocks, and this is the beginnings of breakfast in the morning before we head out again. Came up on some structures along the way. It looked like some people that tried to come this way but didn't quite make it all the way across. We stopped and took a few pictures here. Basically, we were traveling west, right toward the Nevada border. You come upon a little community where about 12 or 14 families live. It was known as Willow Springs back in the day. They call it Kaleo now. There's no store there or any place to buy anything, but they do seem to somehow in this little oasis in the middle of nowhere, literally, do some farming. A lot of interesting buildings from the period in the little town of Kaleo or near the Willow Springs station. Some of the latter stations were some of the stations that had a lot of Indian attacks. You can see here, if you look closely, some of the portholes for the rifles to hold off the Indians because they kept burning down the stations. They built them out of stone. Getting close to the end of the Pony Express Trail, and about 125 miles, loaded up the bikes, and what a grand adventure it was.